I absolutely love that there is a natural way to be able to relax, but you know what? Sometimes my wallet doesn't love it, but luckily Value Sesh is there for you because you can sesh for less with their rabbit hole gummies. They are packed with D9. You can get that relaxing feeling without killing your bank account. You know what? Tony tried these himself. He absolutely loved them. We cannot wait to try them, but you can try them at even further of a discount than what they normally are at. If you use the code SCAREDY at valuesesh.com, you can get 25% off of this and be able to relax with the Scaredy crew. So make sure to go get yours. And you know what? We're going to tell you what we think. So make sure to let us know what you think in the comments.
Do you want to celebrate indie artists and the macabre? It's time to discover culture shock apparel. From cryptids to the supernatural and retro pulp art styles, our unique designs dive into the eerie and mysterious. Each shirt is silk screened in-house, ensuring top quality and made from the softest, most comfortable materials. Stand out with one-of-a-kind art, support your local indie community, and embrace the strange with Culture Shock Apparel, where dark art comes to life. CultureShockApparel.net.
Hey, welcome to Scaredycast, everybody.
Welcome to Scaredycast.
Wait, you're in Kelsey's spot.
That feels weird, but I feel a little extra.
This is weird. I'm looking
dumb
straight at you.
Because she's dumb, because she's not here. What is she doing? Why isn't she here?
There's a Game of Thrones concert experience thing.
Huh.
Interesting.
And she's like, I got to go to this, guys.
Hear that, everyone?
Yeah.
Hear that, fans?
So
she
for the
cares
next,
more about a Game of Thrones concert.
Since we record 2 episodes next 2 weeks, you guys are stuck with the boys.
And
our special guests.
Yeah, you thought it was just Tony and me, but psych, we can't hold this show up on our own. We need special guests, the best, the nicest, the coolest, the best looking everywhere they go. Tony, who are these lovely people to my left?
We have the return of the Giving Dead.
No.
Oh.
We're Kelsey.
We are both Kelsey.
Kelsey did not go to a concert. She is back at home with us. No, she's not at home with us. Never mind. Forget what I said. Kelsey's
Where's
somewhere else.
Kelsey?
Oh my God.
No one needs to know where Kelsey is.
So you guys are two halves of a whole Kelsey?
Well, we did share Kelsey.
Yeah, we got 2 halves of Kelsey inside us.
Whoa.
Thank you, Kelsey.
The mental picture was just out of this world.
So for everyone that's just listening to this, they have no idea. Because they did a little voice play right there, I would be able to guess. Who are they?
Who are you guys?
I am Nadja of Antipacto.
And I am a normal human bartender, Jackie Daytona.
No, my love. They know that we're vampires.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, Laszlo Cravensworth with
Don't you dare do it. Don't you do it.
Oh.
a very cool hat.
It's cursed.
It's very stylish, and
It's
there's
very
no
cursed.
curses on this hat.
It's a bloody stupid hat with a bloody stupid curse on it.
Hey.
The whole building is going to go up in flames now.
No,
because of
it's
you,
going to
know
be fine because I've got a good stylish hat for a good stylish podcast.
there's the witch's butthole right on the back.
What?
I was going to
You
ask
feel
what
it
it was made out of.
Puckering around the back of the head. It's quite comforting, actually.
I wish I had a butthole on my hat.
On your hat?
Most people do.
I think I'd wear hats more often if I knew they had buttholes on them.
Who'd you have to kill to get their butthole on your hat?
Actually, I found this hat. It was a witch hunter. He said, "Here, take this hat. It's cool." And then he passed away. So I said, "Yes, it is very cool." And then I took the hat, and now it is mine for the rest of eternity.
It's cursed.
So that's what the smell is.
Yes, there's a little bit of a smell, but
I like it.
And the witches still take his sperm.
it's a rousing hat. and
Arousing.
It's an arousing hat.
Arousing hat. That's right.
What are you guys sipping on in these cups here?
A little bit of blood.
We got a
with some
13 ghost cup, and this is just a horror gallery.
Yes, a cut above handmade make these. That are,
a mishmash of all different characters.
should we tell them? Kelsey's in here.
Oh.
Little bit of Kelsey.
So she never left. She's right here with
right
us.
there.
She's
Kelsey
She's
is
here
here.
in spirit and pieces.
What does she taste like?
Very
salty.
sweet.
Sweet and salty.
Oh my god.
I must have gotten the sweet side of Kelsey.
What is like your guys' horror, origins? Like where
Your
like
origins.
yeah, like what is it?
Origins.
What's
Horrid, yeah. Now
Well,
we're talking our language.
the horror that shaped you? You could say.
Right. Well, you want to start first?
Why not? My father was sick, and I don't mean like he was.
Rad.
He was ill.
No.
He was mentally ill. Let's say he's mentally ill in the sense that, I was a latchkey kid, so like watching Showgirls at like 8 and Halloween since was the first movie that we ever saw. And my father, the kind man that he is, thought it would be really funny every time Halloween music would come on. He'd hold a knife, just like Michael Myers, straight-faced, and coming at us, and the only way he would stop is if we turned off the music, and he'd be like, oh, I'm in a trance, that sort of thing. He also would say he was going to go pick up milk, and then he would bang on the side of the house outside, and we would be left alone. So, yeah, he was a interesting man. He was the one who introduced me to Rotten.com. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
That was my first shock site for sure.
Yeah, he introduced me to Rotten.com, and we would sit there. I'm in middle school, and he's like, look at all this stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, it's just like the movies. Oh, I don't think so. I genuinely think in the beginning he thought Rotten.com was fake.
Oh, like look at these special effects.
Yeah.
So realistic.
It's so
Right.
realistic
Wow.
because he was into horror a ton, and that's where I started to get into it because he was introducing all these movies to us, also scaring the ever-living crap out of us with that stuff. We did call the cops one time. That was a funny situation
Oh my god.
because I don't mean to delve into a story, but it is
I mean,
quite humorous.
How dare you?
How dare
What do you
I?
think this is, a podcast? Jesus, get it together.
And one of those lovely nights where we got left home alone at night, my mother was away with her sister, something like that. My dad's
What age, real quick, about?
I was 9. My brother was 7, and my sister was 6.
So that's pretty young to be completely unsupervised, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd
Latchkey
say so.
children.
like, even if you're like super mature and you're running the house, like that's great, but like you're still only 9. Like,
Oh, yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah, the anxiety. I came out of the womb with anxiety.
I was born with it.
I was born in the anxiety.
You merely adopted it.
I was shaped by it, molded.
So one of those nights where he was like, okay, I'm going to go to the store really quick, and then I'll be back soon. He was banging on the trailer on the sign. And that metal sheet and whatnot on the trailer. We start freaking out. I'm crying. My siblings are crying.
Oh my god.
And I call the cops, and I'm like, there's some scary person outside of the trailer or whatever. And, they're on the phone trying to reassure me everything's going to be okay. Like, what do you see and all that? And I'm just bawling my eyes out, giving my name, telling them about my sister. The 911 operator was very lovely. So I don't remember her name, but she was
Okay.
very lovely, and she helped keep me calm that whole time, even made me giggle.
Aw.
Cop came by because we saw the lights, and we didn't see what was happening out there at the time. It wasn't until later that my father explained what happened out there. The cop came up, and he just sees this man dressed in black banging on the side of the
Smacking on
trailer,
oh my god.
walking around with it, knowing that there's kids inside of there, and the officer had his he had his hand on his gun.
He was ready.
He was
Yeah.
like, sir, could you step away from the trailer, please? And my dad's like,
Those are my kids.
he's like, we
Like, you don't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Those are my kids. He's on point the gun.
So then my father had to explain to the cops what he was doing.
Oh.
And the cop was just
That's like the first time I've ever not had my phone on vibrate. Sorry.
Wow.
I know.
Terrible.
This
Rude.
just
Only 2 years into podcasting. God dang.
of the rails more than ever.
Now I have to start all over.
Here we
So
go.
anyway,
Back from the womb. But
let's go all the way back.
all the way back. So yeah, he had to explain to the cops what he was doing, and the cop was just. He was very bewildered by the whole concept. He's like, so you're scaring your children on purpose?
terrorizing them, I'd say.
Well, yeah, terrorizing
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So then he had to come inside with my father and say, do you guys know this man? I'm like, Dad.
Oh my God.
There was some man outside.
Oh, no, you didn't.
We didn't know it was him. He's like, can you tell the officer you guys know me? And I'm like, yeah, he's our dad.
Oh, so the cop snitched on him, was like, oh, it was your dad. He was the guy.
I wish you guys knew that it was your dad and been like, we've never seen this guy before in our lives.
I don't know this bad man. He's the scary man.
Are you the pervert? Yeah. So,
It's like next time he tried to pull that prank, was he like, I'm going to go to the store, guys. Don't call the cops if anything happens.
Yeah, right. Should we call the cops or is it just going to be you? Should we expect something bad to happen?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
right?
Like, can you give us a little heads up?
He would, after that, he would announce it was him, like almost immediately after
Oh my
scaring
God. Don't
us.
call the cops. Don't call the cops. Hang up.
He was the youngest of all of his brothers, so I think that's what it is. We were more like his younger siblings than his children.
So he was like, I finally have my shot to pick
Yeah.
on someone smaller than me.
Pretty much.
Dang.
But I got to see a bunch of cool horror movies and things that, 9-8-year-olds shouldn't see.
Well, at least it turned into like a positive thing, right? Like you use horror in many positive ways.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I've become paranoid because of horror. Like, I still check the vehicle in the back seat before I get in,
Like
and
the shower curtain, you like all fast, like expecting someone to be there.
no kidding. Like our house.
Yeah. We've got a bunch of little contingencies just in case anything weird happens. Like next to the computer desk, we've got like a machete there. Underneath the beds are like a buck knife and
Nice.
It's like Dwight in The
another
Office.
little pretty much. We got a bat, tucked away in the corner, just in case someone
Nunchucks and
bursts
The Office
in.
guy.
It's like, whew, we're ready.
Like if you're over by the dresser, bam, machete behind the dresser. Oh, I'm by the closet, switchblade.
Right, nunchucks just tucked away in places.
You're under the bed, bam.
It's a crossbow.
Butterfly knife.
Oh, damn.
In fact,
Doing all
we
the
don't even
tricks.
sleep in our beds. We just sleep in the closet standing upright, and we have dummies there.
Just for precautions.
for precaution purposes.
Trip
That's right.
wires in the doorway, Like God.
I was telling him about that for our Halloween decorations. I was like, why can't we just put little wires around our yard so nobody can steal them?
We
Dude,
had
yeah.
we had a creeping pumpkin inflatable go missing a couple of years ago. Someone just walked away with it probably. So now we stake it down. Even like every little wire, we put little stakes in there to try to make sure it stays
Don't
on.
give away all the secrets.
We were talking about
Kayfabe,
booby trap
man.
in the yard, but that's illegal. So you can't booby trap a yard.
Oh.
But
yeah.
the caveat being you can have a trap that is human operated, right? So if you've got a little like swinging paint can trap and then you activate it by a switch, then that's legal because it's not something, it's manned by a person rather than just a tripwire.
So if I hit a button and then send Tony out with a baseball bat, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's I told him to.
You're just standing your ground at that point.
yeah.
Self-defense.
I just realized, now they're two bumbling idiots, so they probably would not ever think of this, but Harry and Marv could have sued the McAllisters
Yeah. Yes,
oh,
they could've.
absolutely they could have.
for like
Yeah.
that whole house. The micro machines they slipped
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
the icy steps,
I hate
the
this
iron
so
in the
much.
face,
Oh
This
yeah,
is-
branding his hand, that's permanent damage.
branding his
Oh
hand.
my god.
Nail.
The nail through his
The
foot.
nail.
Tetanus.
Nail.
Mark could have got lockjaw,
The paint can. Well, no, wait. Kevin threw the paint cans, so.
Oh my god.
The paint can. Well, no, wait. Kevin threw the paint cans, so. The paint can. Well, no, wait. Kevin threw the paint cans, so. The paint can. Well, no, wait. Kevin threw the paint cans, so.
Yeah,
That's
true.
self-defense-ish, I guess.
But the guy from Little Nemo's, he could have came by like, oh, forgot to pick up a tip for the pizza. Boom.
Yeah.
Touched
Whoa.
the handle. Branded himself.
Huge.
Nero's.
Yeah.
It was Nero's. Little Nero's.
I was like, Little Nemo. I find it I love that movie.
The
man.
Dream Master.
Yeah, the Dream Master.
Man, so I think the first time we saw you guys, you were dressed as the characters on the front of Return of the Living Dead
Yes.
poster in VHS.
Ah, yes.
And then it was the next day we saw you guys, and it was Creepshow, the birthday cake cosplay.
That's
Yes.
what did it for me.
And it was like,
Oh, that was like sold. These are
Yeah.
my people.
That's one of my favorites. I like that
yeah,
one. a
oh
lot.
yeah. I was like, these are my people.
you
for
guys,
sure.
and most recently we were at Days of the Dead, and we put you guys on TikTok when you came in as Puppet Master characters.
Oh,
yeah.
God, that was so good.
Like,
And also, the what we do in the shadows, you have like extra people to have the perfect cast. You fill up
Yes.
like everybody.
Yeah.
It's so freaking cool. That was another one. The day after they did the Puppet Master,
yeah.
they came in as like the whole family, and oh man, the whole cast was amazing.
Yeah, we got our friend Eli and Tiffany, AZ Punisher on Instagram, and Tiffany and Pierce on Instagram.
Got it?
Sponsor.
You got that, everybody?
Shout outs for sure, absolutely.
You got that?
Yeah, Google it right now. But yeah, they're down in Tucson. Great couple.
Great cosplayers.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Super great
honestly.
guy. People.
Where did it all start? Like, what was like, hey, I have an idea.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting between, and this is technically her story, right? But Eli was in like the band scene back in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
He was in Tucson. He
Oh,
just
two-
traveled.
okay, I got my facts mixed up.
He's drunk. I think Kelsey was drinking or something beforehand,
that
and
sounds
that's
about
why
right.
this tastes this.
And Kelsey is a lush. We all know.
No, like he was saying, our friend Eli, I knew because at the time one of my former lovers was in a band, and he used to travel to Mexico, and then him and I just ended up being friends, staying close, and he was already in the cosplay scene, being Punisher, and was it Deathstroke?
Yeah, he did Deathstroke. We hadn't seen him in a long time, years and years. And a couple years ago, I want to say maybe 3, maybe. Portia and I went to the Renaissance Festival, and we actually went as Nadja and Laszlo. We walked around with little umbrellas. It was super fun. But he happened to be there with, I think Tiffany was there too at the time.
No.
Oh, they weren't together at that point. But he was there with his group, and we just started talking. It's kind of sort of like oh, hey, we haven't seen you in years, and just kind of went from there. Suddenly we started doing group cosplays with them, which is super fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys are pretty much like smash hits everywhere you go, and probably really well known at like every con, at least in Arizona, because I swear, like every time we go anywhere and we see like it's like, oh, where are they? What are they gonna do this time? Oh man, the frickin' Wooden Head Collective, The Day the Rest Stood Still. One of my all-time favorites they've done was They Live. You guys did like it was like a couple, and oh yeah, you guys explain it because it was just so good.
Yeah, we wanted to make it look like we were tourists, like rich upper class tourists just walking around. So,
Bougie.
Yeah, bougie. We got the watch on, Portia. So my sister currently lives in Hawaii. So she sent us a bunch of Hawaii touristy garb that we'd never gotten a chance to wear up until that day. So I don't remember the name of the little. It's not even really a dress. It's like just a piece of cloth that you can wear, 100 different ways.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
you like a papoose, like for a baby, where you can wrap it all up and do it all.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
but you literally wrap yourself. It's like you're swaddling. It's a swaddle
Blanket.
dress,
felt
swaddle blanket. Did you feel swaddled?
I felt very swaddled. It was
Good.
lovely.
You felt supported,
Oh yeah, everything was supported.
and you were completely painted in blue.
Yeah, we had to paint ourselves. I didn't have to paint as much as her because I didn't have as much skin showing.
He never does, and that irritates me.
I purposely get long sleeves when I do body painting stuff, so that way it's just the hands, just the neck.
To be fair, sorry guys, my husband's very sweaty.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take anything. I'm surprised I'm not sweating right now.
Actually, I'm surprised too.
I feel that 100%.
Yeah,
He's a very moist man. Can I say that?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but get closer, get closer,
get
a little bit
really
louder.
in there.
All right, go ahead. 3, 2, 1.
Moist.
A little ASMR for you.
yeah, a little sultriness.
Join our patreon.com/scaredycast.
We'll just say moist over and over again.
Moist.
So we heard, what was your origin story of horror? Because I think we
Oh,
only
God.
technically have yours.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we haven't gone into how did you get into it?
Well, mine is not as interesting as hers.
Terrifying.
In fact,
traumatizing.
Yeah, be thankful.
I would say my childhood was probably the exact opposite. I grew up in a very loving family with responsible parents that would never terrorize their children. Although very overprotective, maybe almost like a helicopter mom sort of situation. Like, I think my first horror movie was probably original Terminator. I guilted my dad into letting me watch it because we had a VHS of it where you just see like the T500 or 800.
T800.
T800, yeah.
Yeah.
So the T800 on the cover, you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I always wanted to say I want to watch the movie with the robot man, and my mom always said no because it's an R-rated movie, and I was like 6. And after asking my dad, 100 different times, he's finally like, okay, fine, we'll watch it. I loved it, and I wanted to watch it over and over and over again. I wasn't allowed to watch any more scary movies after that until
wrestling.
Or wrestling. Yeah,
What?
I was very sheltered. I couldn't watch Ren and Stimpy as a kid because it was too crass. I was at my grandparents' house and they let me watch American Werewolf in London. I told my mom about it the following day and she got mad at my grandparents because she's like, hey, you shouldn't be watching something like that. But I realized I didn't really have any bad dreams from it. I was really sweating having nightmares because I couldn't stand nightmares as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of a creepy kid when it came to sleeping, as a matter of fact. I would like sleepwalk. Sometimes my mom would open the door and just see me sitting up in bed. Sometimes I'd be standing in a corner.
Eyes open.
Just standing there. She'd be like, go to sleep. I'm like, okay. My dad found me in the living room watching the TV, but it was just like the Poltergeist white noise playing on it. And so I was just sitting there. So I was a really
They weren't
creepy
like
child.
being overprotected, be good parents. They're being overprotected for their protection, probably.
That's probably it. Now that I think about it, it's all kind of.
shit.
You're like, Mom and Dad, why wouldn't you let me watch Fresh Prince? And it's like, because you're the son of Satan, and we haven't told you, but you're adopted.
Yeah, right.
Your real name's Damien. Yeah, we caught you floating in the kitchen last night.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
When I think
Oh,
about
it's that Italian food before dinner. It does it every time.
So thinking about it, I grew up not really watching a lot of horror just because I didn't really know what I was missing. So after I actually met Porcher, she reintroduced me to horror. And at first I was kind of turned off from it. I'd watch it because I wanted her to like me. So I would pretend like I've seen some of these movies she was talking about. She'd be like, oh man, I really love, I don't know, People Under the Stairs. Like, oh man, that's such a good movie, a classic. I watch it all the time. And then finally, years
like
later.
Harry Potter, he was a guy under the stairs, right? Like, he was one of the people, right?
So years later, we'd be talking about something and she's like, oh yeah, we're watching People Under the Stairs. Like, oh, I've never seen that. You're like, what do you mean I've never seen that?
Oh, because she don't forget.
Yeah, she doesn't remember. She remembers everything.
When
She remembers everything.
They don't forget.
So I was a hypocrite, and she called me out on it. So since then, we've been watching, movies, watching a lot of those cult classics, in the movie theater for the first time. So I kind of have that gift of seeing a lot of classic horror movies for the first time on the big screen, which I'm very appreciative of.
That's cool.
And I think the first I actually started wanting to do more horror stuff It was our first Mad Monster party. We dressed up as Ash and Linda from Evil Dead 2 specifically. And, it was just so fun kind of getting into that headspace of Bruce Campbell. And after that, I was just hooked. And now I don't think I can watch anything unless it's a horror movie.
That was
really.
your first horror cosplay, too.
Yep, sure was.
Dude, that's so what a great first one though. I mean, legendary.
Yeah, it was fun. It was unfortunate for Porcher because she was Linda, right? So she had the whiteout contacts on. She couldn't see anything. And I assumed she could see more than she actually could. So I wasn't a very good handler at the time.
You were terrible handler.
Yeah, like people would be like, they're like, can we take you guys a picture? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'd stand there and I'd be waiting for her to turn towards the camera, but she couldn't see anything.
She's just looking
so I
at
was
this. Oh, come on.
The best thing was when somebody wanted a picture of just him and then handed me the phone and said, hey, can you take a picture of both of us? I'm like, I can't see.
He's just holding her hand. She's bumping into every table.
And I didn't know Elijah didn't know that I couldn't see. So he was like, just
hold it.
Like,
hold
are you
it. Just hold
okay?
it. I'm like, is it the same direction? What's going on? So he might have a picture of me.
She was
He
like-
was drunk though, so
She was facing like the wrong direction, trying to take her picture. It was just really funny.
You're like, what did you switch to decaf?
She ended up taking her contacts out, but I couldn't follow her into the
women's bathroom.
women's bathroom. So she had to navigate her way in there and take them out herself without being able to see anything.
I cried in there.
Oh no.
Yeah, I cried in there because I couldn't get him out.
Oh god.
I was so frustrated. I'm like, I don't care how much I paid for these, and I just
Tossed
threw them
them.
away.
You're
Yeah,
like, never again.
I come
Holy
out,
crap.
my face is all red and my eyes are all tearing. And Tom Atkins was there. And
Yeah.
it's like
They're there.
Yeah,
Like,
he
right
was a
there.
guest.
Oh no, like he was a guest
okay,
there.
okay.
Yeah, and I have an affinity for Tom Daddy Atkins.
I mean,
Oh, we love him.
We love
Tom Daddy.
Yeah, Tom Daddy Atkins.
Tom Daddy.
I wanted to meet him so bad, but I was so embarrassed by the way I looked. So there was this pillar right around there, and nobody was at his table.
Yeah, he was completely alone. It would have been so perfect. Just
Yeah.
walk right up, no waiting.
So we're over there walking. And then I veer behind the pillar, and like a creep, I'm just staring at him like that.
Like Bigfoot.
I think he
around
made
a
eye
tree.
contact with her a
He
couple
did.
of times,
He
just
made-
kind of like,
So
birth.
I actually have, my origin story is a lot like yours. I was I was sheltered, but not in a like really bad way. Like, did you guys just? Oh my god, they just drank at the same time. Did you see that? I bet they cycle together too.
Sometimes.
Yeah. We
It's an on-off situation.
Wait, is that still a thing when you're vampires? Like, do you still like do that? I'm
It's a
looking right
vampire
at you
secret.
asking about.
It's a vampire.
They call it
secret.
menstruation. If it was
Yeah.
for women, it'd be called womenstration.
Or femstration.
Femstration. There you go. I love
Why
that.
don't
New term. Coin.
I was raised in like a Christian home, but it was like still like, if it was like you shouldn't watch The Simpsons, you shouldn't watch. Family Guy was like that too, and all that stuff. But my parents are much more like. As you got older, it was like, well, you know better.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. And so, like, I could play Grand Theft Auto. I think my mom once, there was a game called Destroy All Humans, and I got
Love that game.
Love
so
it.
fun.
Yes.
And
Love it.
it's so good. But my mom just saw the title and was like, what is this about? And I was like, and I think it was like mature, and I was like 13, and I was like, I
Yeah.
swear. It's not that bad. And then, I had to talk my way out of it once. But like literally, like my dad was in like halfway between yours.
Yeah.
He liked scaring us, but like he wouldn't chase us with a knife. But also like my mom has zero interest in violence and gore. She can't even watch boxing.
Oh.
And if she watches UFC, she gets like queasy because she's just like, she hates that like brutality. And me and my dad are like over here giggling, watching, like every war movie, like Platoon and Full Metal Jacket and stuff. And I'm just like, hell yeah. But he showed me Creepshow. He showed me American
Nice.
Werewolf in London. He showed me, let's see, The Thing, which
Yes.
those
Oh, yeah.
three was like, that was like his three that he was like, you gotta watch these movies, man. And we would literally, one of them we borrowed or we rented from Netflix when they used to send the DVDs in the mail. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then before that, I watched multiple of like my first, like The Thing I watched on VHS, rented it from Blockbuster. And like some of those moments, I mean, I was so fucking scared. I would never tell my dad. I was like, that was really cool. And then I'm just like glued to the wall, hitting every light in the house all the way to my room and just like always looking. Oh, I was so scared after watching all of those. But I never actually like, I don't know. This is honestly joining Scaredycast was kind of like the big, you're into horror now. Because it was like I knew about those movies and I loved them, but I and this happens a lot.
You want to be on this podcast, you got to get a horror.
That's the thing. People like, oh my God, they gatekeep like crazy. I'll say it right now. I haven't seen every Friday the 13th and I don't care. And that's okay.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. Not even a little bit. Same with, I haven't even seen all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I've seen most, or at least what I think is most, but like, who cares? You know, that doesn't make you any less of a horror fan or whatever. And so like whoever does that, like, knock it off. We got to cut that shit out.
Kick rocks.
Yeah. Especially, well, there's keyboard warriors in the comments are one thing, but like anybody that like, you know, gatekeeps you because you haven't seen or done everything in a horror, knock it off. Knock it off. I don't even like movies that much. I love some movies, but like you're the movie guy.
I love movies.
I'm into monsters and cryptids and real life scary stuff.
Yeah.
You love movies. Kelsey's
Delicious.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like, I don't know, that's just never really been my strength. So horror movies in general and all that stuff was just kind of like something my dad showed me and I was like, oh, that was a good movie. And then got into horror basically because I had a crush on Tony and I wanted him to like me. And so he was like, hey, I have this podcast. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you want to host it with me? And I was like, sure. And then I was just like, oh yeah, I love this. And then meeting all, you know, you guys and everybody at these cons and like kind of just diving in. I'm not that much of an artist. I can't create stuff like everybody that makes cool merch and stuff, but like, I love being around it. I love talking about it. I'm obsessed with it now. But I guess, you know, I don't know. I'm still kind of like writing the story, my origin story. It's like just beginning for me still.
Aw.
You know?
That's awesome.
Your
Nice.
baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm coming to an end of mine.
Jesus.
Yeah.
1 foot in the
That's dark.
grave.
I know, right?
Tony, you okay?
Unexpectedly
mood
dark.
shift.
Hey man, you want to stay over tonight, man? You want to come over and watch some?
Okay. Can we play video games?
Yeah, bud. We can make some
Okay.
popcorn. Come on, champ.
Thanks.
Smoke some pot.
Okay.
No, we can take our value sesh gummies.
What is
Yes.
value touch gummies?
I'm so glad you asked.
Tell us about it.
Value Sesh is an awesome company that makes incredible tasty gummies. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of gummies have a really bad
Yeah.
Yeah.
taste.
I know what you're talking
after,
about.
and you're just like, ugh, like
Very bitter.
yes.
Like,
And I'm also obsessed with gummy candies.
I am too.
Like over chocolate any day. I
Yeah.
love this kind of stuff, and like really, 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 really good. The flavor is like the best gummies I've ever had, and these things will put you in the couch.
Yes.
nice.
Very nice.
I watched, I think it was 2 weeks ago we talked about it, when I watched As Above, So Below for the first time.
Oh,
yeah.
And I had one of those before I started watching it. And it like relaxed me so much that I wasn't getting scared, but I was acknowledging that there were scares happening. So I was
Yeah.
just like, huh.
This is a little scary.
Whoa.
yeah,
Like, it was
yeah.
just some calm
You're
scares.
just like, shit,
yeah, basically. Yeah, I was like, damn, dude.
that's really scary.
You probably shouldn't have done that, man. Get out of them
I
catacombs.
should probably turn a light on. I'm pretty freaked out right now.
Definitely
Kinda
a
like that.
fine line. You know,
Oh, yeah.
if you want to take any sort of edible, watching a movie, because from my personal experience, the very first time ever consuming a medicinal edible, it was one of those Tootsie Rolls, right? 100 milligrams.
Oh my God.
My girlfriend at the time, we were in Colorado.
By accident? You accidentally, right?
Okay, so her cousin grew, right? She was
Okay.
a grower. She was very
Me too.
knowledgeable, about edibles. So she's like, "Hey, I dare you to eat this." And to me, 10, 20, 100, it didn't matter to me. I'm like, whatever. So I ate the whole entire thing.
God.
And we ended up watching Butterfly Effect.
Oh,
and so
Christ.
I had only seen the theatrical version of it. I had never seen the alternate ending. So it was kicking in right around the ending was happening. And I didn't realize.
Familiar with the alternate ending?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, how he's like strangling himself in his womb. I had never seen that. I didn't even know that there was an alternate ending to Butterfly Effect. So in my mind, I was like, this isn't the movie I remember. I had an absolute freak out, and I was wrecked for the rest of the day. And that following day as well, I had to fly back to Albuquerque. And I don't remember anything about it. Like, they're like, you'd probably be fine if you walk to Target. Like, take a walk. That'll help you. And it didn't help at all. I was just wandering around Target. Like, I got lost a couple times. I could have still been in Colorado to this day. I would have had no idea what was going on.
See, that's. Oh, I heard the door open.
That's
It
Nino.
spooked me.
It's okay. It's just Nino.
So.
Nino?
Are you here? Yeah, it's Nino. It's okay.
It's
not
okay.
Call off the dogs. It's okay.
Okay.
Turn off the alarm. It's just Nino.
Nino.
Hi.
Hi, Nino's here. What were we talking about?
We were talking about
The edibles.
the
The edibles.
The
Yes.
I
I had something kind of. I didn't have like 100 milligrams, thank God. But
that's a lot.
Way too much. for a
Anytime
first
If
time
people
user.
don't know, like, if you don't know anything about marijuana or whatever, like, that is so much.
It's that whole pack. Pretty
This
much.
is like.
well, that's
Well, so this is one
think it's
gummy.
600 total in
30,
that bag.
so there's 30
Ooh.
gummies. Yeah, 900. No, 600. You're right.
Wow.
Yeah, these things.
That's
those
awesome.
are good. Those are really good though. Like I'm very like sensitive when it comes to gummies, but those treat me right. So
But I haven't had the blood orange yet, but I had the green apple ones.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good.
Nice.
It's hard not to keep eating them. That's the scary
That's the
thing.
trick. Yeah.
Because you're just like, God, it looks so good, and then you're like, that last one was like really sour and like
did that,
good, and like, oh, yeah, it's rough.
so there's multiple flavors.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you go to valuesesh.com and use code Scaredycast, you can save yourself a few bucks.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Everybody loves saving money.
Save some money. Yeah, I did that whole classic. Oh, I don't feel nothing. Better take another one. Mistake when I first had a gummy like years ago.
My
and
first gummy was a peach ring, and it was only 10 milligrams, but I think it's a virgin.
I was playing Call of Duty and just having a blast with my friends
Nice.
online, and then we're all like, "Let's play Friday the 13th," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that'll be so fun." And then like 10 minutes in, I can't explain it, but like my brain was just telling my body like, "Hey, you need to go to bed right now, dude." And I just started panicking and went and got in bed.
Yeah, the
And I was
anxiety.
just laying in bed. I'm like, no matter how I move in bed, I'm gonna fall out of it. Fuck! Like, yeah, dude, it was rough.
I couldn't sit still when I got like super like that. I was like, I need to go walk. I just paced in the house, and then I couldn't like. For me, it was time dilation. I had no
yeah.
idea if it was a second or 3 days. And like I was talking to my buddy, we were trying to play. There's a game called Rocket League, and I just sat down to play on the computer, and we joined in, and I was like, all right, man. And then I just was like, just pure dial tone. And I was just like, huh. And I was like, hey, man. And he's like, hey, you going to press start? I was like, yeah. And then I realized, like, well, that was weird. Am I having a no, it's private. And this was 2.5 hours later is when it finally kicked in. So I thought, yeah, dude, I told him, I was like, I took the gummy, nothing happened. Well, I think it was because it was like gummy shit and not like food. It like took forever. And then, oh boy, it hit me so hard. I was literally having conversations with him like, yeah, man. I was like, how long does it take to kick in? And then I was just so focused on him. I was just like I was practically seeing his words. And then I had to go pace around the neighborhood for like 3 hours. It was not a great time.
I'm going to segue to some movie reviews right now, but I'm going to keep it somewhat topic related because I always roll in here with like 5 movies and stuff, you know. You know me, like I just binge the hell out of some horror movies because I'm like, we got a podcast, got to review some of these movies. Well, this past weekend, kind of mistakes were made. Oh, I didn't watch any horror movies.
Wow. Why? Why did you do that?
I've been enjoying some Rabbit Hole and watching Police Academy.
Nice.
All of them.
Wait, like you're going down a rabbit hole of Police
I went
Academy?
down a rabbit hole on some rabbit hole.
While on Value Sesh Rabbit
and
Hole
watched all
gummies.
6 Police Academy movies. Well, there's 7, but it's hard to get to that 7th one. You know what I mean? Especially whenever characters stop showing up, and you're like you're left with just I'll get to Mission in Moscow later. City Under Siege is where I'll stop. But I will say I got so excited to get to part 4 because part 4 is my favorite. Because part 4 is like, you know those quizzes, movie quizzes, where like they'll give you cast members and then you got to guess the movie?
Yeah.
If you did that with part 4, you'd be like, what the fuck is this movie? Like, what the hell? Bobcat Goldthwait, David Spade, Sharon Stone, and Tony Hawk.
Wow.
You're
No way.
what? Yeah, dude.
Whoa.
Mixed bag
Like
there.
a Police Academy 4. So I only have one movie to review.
A horror movie? Or do you have 6?
It's not a horror movie, but it falls within our general topics. I watched The Ghost and Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts.
That's fair.
Oh my god.
It's a Disney horror.
It's
so
not a
it's-
Disney. It's a Universal.
I thought it was on Disney Plus.
No, it's a Universal movie.
Never mind.
With Don Knotts played Barney Fife from the Andy Griffith Show. Well, he's like he wants to be a journalist, so press photographer kind of guy, and to kind of prove, make it big. He's going to spend the night in the old, I think it's the Simmons Mansion they called it. There was a murders that took place there 20 years ago, and he's like,
a murder.
I'm gonna stay the night here on the 20th anniversary of their murder. Wait, how is he? He's like, ah!
He's like,
Barney Fife. He's just, like it's Don Knotts the actor, but the character is basically just Barney Fife, like from Andy Griffith Show. Like, so
he's like a human cartoon.
He
yeah.
really is.
Is his eyes like this? Like he's just like, ooh, like he's just one of those guys, like Mr. Bean or something.
Yeah.
Like American Mr. Bean.
Oh God, I love Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean's pretty cool.
But he stays the night in this mansion, sees ghost activity, like all kinds of shit starts going crazy in there.
Wasn't there chicken in the title? Why
Yeah.
was there chicken in the
I
title?
don't think it ever came out.
Hold on.
I think it's supposed to be because he's a chicken.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's
Well,
not
that's
a ghost
rude.
of a chicken.
Right.
Okay.
Damn. So
That's unfortunate.
They just dog him in the title. Like,
So
check out
anyways,
this
like
movie should be called "Check Out This Pussy."
he's not a pussy. He's a good man.
Is he?
Anyways, he sees all this ghost activity and goes and tells people about it. And they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. You're a hero. But then the people that own the mansion are like, bullshit, we're suing you. Yeah. And then he has to prove to everybody that he really saw what he saw.
that mansion.
Yeah. So, Ghost and Mr. Chicken. There's a really weird scene where, like, he's talking to this girl at a restaurant and she's there with, like, this guy. And so there's no seat for him. So he has to stand while he eats soup. And he's just, like, eating some chicken soup, but he's standing up at the table. Just
So you didn't watch a horror movie, is what I'm
there's
hearing.
ghosts in it. All right. Come on. There's ghosts.
Okay.
Gee whiz.
I'm just saying, Kelsey gets at least a free pass for 1 week because you always give her. Well, we both give her shit for not watching horror movies, but like, slap on the wrist. Here, give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
No. Not when I'm rolling in here with 5, usually weekly, okay? I earned my silliness. I deserve it.
The one time he doesn't show up with an abundance.
Anyways, Ghosted Mr. Chicken, 4 stars
Out of
out of 5. I'm going to give him 4 out of 5 chickens.
how many
4 out of
knots?
5 chickens.
Out of-
Yeah. And I don't know what the hell's, like, it's never explained. There's a lot of stuff that happens in the movie that's never explained. Like, anytime he does something, like, cool or, like, gotcha kind of thing, some dude is always off screen going, attaboy! Like, I forget what his name is. And he's like, and he just, like, gets pissed at us sometimes. Like, yeah, I know. Like, shut up. Like, I'm doing cool. Like, oh, God.
That's pretty great. Just that alone would raise it a chicken for me.
That
So if I'm
might
sitting
be-
at a 3, I boost it to a 4.
But there was a moment that happened in the movie, too. It was in the courtroom, I think. And the attaboy guy wasn't there. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is the perfect moment for that.
See, that's why.
Oh,
Because you
I
were
guess so.
expecting it.
I mean,
that's
who
the
am I to
plan.
argue against the masters of comedy from back then,
I don't know, dude.
They get you hooked on the attaboy, and then they rip it away from you.
Yo, just like my dad.
Yes.
Nothing. I'm just judging you because you didn't. Well, you watched like one.
Do you guys have a movie that you would like to rant about or praise? Or?
Yeah, you know what? Good point. We always do the reviews. Do you guys have a movie review for us?
You know what's funny is I was looking at my Facebook memories, and what popped up was the old Sin Asylum showing of 10 to Midnight.
Oh, yes.
And that was his first time seeing it on screen, and I think it's your first Charles Bronson movie, too?
Yeah,
you'd ever
first
seen?
Charles Bronson movie.
Cool.
Definitely recommend it. It was a fantastic one.
Dang.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the...
I've only seen it once.
Oh, it's magical. A naked serial killer, and Charles Bronson being that... what was it? Titanic force that he is going to find this bastard. And he's going to put an end to it all. And
Did you say he was a naked serial killer?
Yeah. Gene Davis can only kill when he's naked.
I'm just thinking Greasy Strangler.
It was very similar to that in that respect.
except he wasn't greasy, but he was a smart serial killer. He didn't wear anything because he didn't want to get caught, you know? This was, even though this was like 2 years before DNA became a thing or whatever, he didn't want to leave any of his clothing.
Did he shave his whole body?
No, he's got his pubes all over the place in that movie. He's leaving DNA all over the place,
what a
axing
fool.
people.
Well,
You were
he
so
might
close, and you
Maybe
blew
he
it.
cups.
Maybe he cups.
They aren't able to, if they find a pube, they're like, what do we do with this? They don't have any DNA evidence in that time, so, just throw it away.
That's true. That's true. Sorry, that was mine.
But yeah, it's it's really interesting because he specifically sets up, like in the first time he's killing, or second time, I forget. He goes to this movie, and I forget what movie he's watching, but he makes it a point to creep on these two younger girls that are watching the movie in front of him. So he's like, oh man, I'm really excited for this movie. He's just talking to them to like, get out of here.
Getting real close.
He gets really close to him. He makes a presence so that way he sniffs them.
No.
So they're freaked out. They're like, oh, this guy's weird. But so once the movie starts, he creeps out, goes to the bathroom, takes his clothes off with his Velcro tearaway stuff because he gets out of those clothes insanely fast. And then he sneaks through like a little crack in the window and goes out a killing, comes back just in time for the movie because he can teleport like Jason apparently. So he zoops back after murdering these couple in a car on the side of the freeway, comes back and puts his clothes on just in time to get back in the movie and creep on the girls again as they walk out. So when they get questioned by the police, like, oh yeah, this freak was back here the whole time, alibi.
Smart serial killer.
It's kind of like a slasher meeting a cop drama mystery thing. Yeah, because they almost, like at the end, they kind of have that whole slasher thing. He ends up chopping up a whole sorority house of nursing co-eds.
Yeah, which is based kind of similar on a real life situation where some nursing students got murdered and whatnot by some sick man. I don't think he was naked though.
Oh,
yeah.
I just added that in for ratings.
Yeah, but yeah, they've got the slasher scene. Charles Bronson's daughter in the movie, she survives it. She kind of gets that final girl status, but she never actually gets the revenge of taking down the killer because they end up. Glenn Davis ends up Gene Davis ends up running down the street after her, chasing her, completely naked still. She's running away, and she just kind of crashes into Charles Bronson, who pops out of nowhere and ends up catching the killer. So the whole thought process of the movie was, it's fine, to break the law as long as you're doing it in a justified way. So he's standing there. Charles Bronson's got his gun trained on the killer, and the killer's like, I'm just going to plead insanity. I'm naked, covered in blood. I'm going to be out here.
A bunch of other cops.
They're surrounding it.
They see him. They see Charles Bronson. They see all of this going on, and they're just like, okay, we caught the serial killer.
Yeah, but he's taunting him. He's taunting Bronson like, I'm just going to get out. It's no big deal. I'll kill your daughter still. So Charles Bronson murders him. He puts him down, stone cold. He just boom, and then drops the gun, puts his hands up because he's surrounded by cops.
But he was like,
that's the end of the
worth it.
movie.
That's pretty hard. That was pretty cool.
Chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, got that moral quandary going on.
Charles Bronson planting evidence.
Yeah, he plants
taking down
evidence.
the killer.
Wait a minute.
Hold up.
Yeah, there's something that he finds at the dude's apartment, and it's like my favorite scene is when he brings that, and it kind of looks similar to like a fleshlight, I think, or it was like
Yeah, it's like a makeshift fleshlight the guy made.
or something like that, and he takes it with him, and he interrogates Gene Davis here at the police station. Yeah, he literally just slams it on the table and says, "What is this for? Jacking off, you know?" And
Whoa.
Charles Bronson? Jacking off. Just all like, Jesus.
Yeah, Charles Bronson ends up in a morgue right after that, and with one of the victims of Gene Davis, and he ends up taking some of the blood from the dead body. He's like, the morgue guy, he's just high. He's like, oh, don't tell my supervisor. And Charles Bronson's like, it's all good, no big deal. Hey, what's that over there? And then he just like steals blood, goes to Gene Davis's house and like puts it on all his clothes. And then
I think he's kind of a bad
murderer. Look, he's got blood on his clothes.
Maybe it's better he turned himself in.
but did they let him go?
But also, like,
still
damn it,
got out,
justice.
yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
It's kind of, going above, it's vigilanteism for the greater good is that whole thought process.
Yeah. I mean, I'm for it.
He always gets his man.
Always.
He always gets his man, but even though he has weird choices in food,
Oh, yeah.
because in the movie there was some, aside from that wonderful jacking off scene,
There's a whole scene.
well, the interrogation, I should say.
right,
Nobody get excited. There's no actual.
I was about to
Just
be
sitting there
like,
getting interrogated, just cranking.
about to make a Blu-ray purchase real
Right.
quick.
There's a scene where he goes to a cafeteria, and it's the cafeteria in the hospital, right?
Yeah. He's visiting his daughter, Charles Bronson, and his lackey, deputy, or assistant, or partner, I guess, are both there talking to the daughter, right? And so he's going through the
Line to get
food, and he picks up like a side of coleslaw, and then he picks up what looks to be a piece of pie, but it's like, it turns out to be quiche, right? So he sits down, and he's like, what is this? Then
I don't even like coleslaw.
yeah, he's like, I don't even like coleslaw. It hurts my ulcer. And then he's like, I thought this was pie. It's like quiche. And it's like, does this guy even know what food is?
What is this? Isn't a cheeseburger.
He's like, I thought this was pie.
This is a hospital, sir.
And that is what mind boggles me. He expected pie at what, like 8 o'clock in the morning?
With coleslaw?
True. We got to think here, like, what?
You know what?
What?
I just realized something.
What?
I went to Red Lobster today for lunch.
Okay.
I never got my coleslaw.
I can't believe it. Did you get a biscuit, though?
Oh,
Cheddar
that's
bay
the most
biscuits?
important part. I got plenty of biscuits, but I just realized that.
What are you going to do?
Red Lobster can make it right.
I'm going to bitch about it right here on the podcast.
Yeah, if Mr. Lobster's watching right now, you can make this
dude,
right.
I know Red Lobster had some hard times, but like, damn, dude, I just realized they didn't remember.
Well, don't be like Disney and subscribe to Lobster Plus, and now you can't sue
Lobster
them
Plus.
because you have their streaming service. It's just fish. It's just aquariums all day.
Well, oh, well.
You're gonna have to unsubscribe, dude. Sorry.
You can ask Charles Bronson for his coleslaw. He's not going to eat it.
You could
Yeah,
just
it upsets his ulcer.
you could just kill him. You could just go back to the Red Lobster and just kill him.
I would never. I love you, Red Lobster. Guys, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank
course.
you
It's
You
guys.
guys
been a
want
pleasure.
to tell everybody who you are and where they can find you and what you're doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. We are Return of the Giving Dead. We are on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us at Return of the Giving Dead on, both of them.
Yep.
And, I mean, that's...
Is that where they see all your cosplays and stuff too? Is all in there on one page or?
Kind of. I would say so. She's better at social media than I am. I am garbage at it, and I very rarely post things. I try to do better, but hers is Turunga _Fry, like Futurama, and mine being Laszlo Daytona with the underscore.
There you go.
So all of our costumes, all the props. Big thing is we're very big into charitable organizations, foster dogs, foster teens, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we try to help bring awareness to them as well. And lost our home. Pet Rescue is currently looking for fosters because they're
Yeah,
full.
we got a lot of puppies.
Man.
That's where
Hey, you heard it here. Hit them up. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Thank you guys. And don't forget to go to patreon.com/Scaredycast, everybody, please. Thank you. Bye.